Right, AIC Makongoro wanasema utumwa wa Israeli inapiga ndani ya mawimbi ya 107.3 FM. Hapa ni Kunam Radio Baringo, na tusikiliza kwa njia iliyo sambamba msikilizaji. Ikiwa basi ni siku ya Friday ya tarehe ngapi? Ya tarehe 23 mwaka 2020. Mwezi ni wa 6 mwaka 2023 msikilizaji. Mimi naitwa Joseph Oponi ama kipenda the Kingpin himself. Tunakwenda namna hiyo hadi takaposimama pale saa 5, lakini kwa sasa hebu tufanye hivi. Now kuna watu wanataka kujua life history about myself. So today nimekuja hapa hivi ndio niwaeleze sasa kinagaubaga who is this Kingpin. By the way, Kingpin is just a brand, a nickname, but later on I'll talk about that. But let me start by introducing myself. Now, who is Joseph Oponi? Joseph Oponi is a son. Joseph Oponi is a professional, and at the same time he is a brand under the Kingpin Media. Now, Joseph Oponi was born at a place called Ololmongi, pale Kilgoris constituency, mahali panaitwa Lolgorian. For those of you who know that place, that is where I was born and brought up, kwa hiyo place. So apparently I was born kwa familia ya baba moja na wamama watano. I know some people may not trust the process that, but I tell you, my mother was number 4. Na madhe bedha tuko kwetu kwa kina madhe tuko 7. Now if you can do your calculation, you can imagine how many children does the first, second and third wife ama mother has. For my mother tuko watoto 7. Now, nilizaliwa pale nilisema, and that is where I was brought. Nikaenda shule at a place called Olosinon Primary School. Olosinon still iko karibu na home too, I think some 300 meters. Ni place nilikuwa nakimbia kama nimerudi lunchtime, mimi nilikuwa nakimbiaga home, na pia tulianzaga program fulani ilikuwa inaitwa preps. La waya saa 10 mlikuwa mnaenda home na kula, and then mnakuja later on in the evening kukuja kusoma until in the morning. So kuna watu walikuwa they had a very hard time kwa sababu wao kwa ilikuwa mbali, but for me that was an advantage and a privilege for me kwa sababu I could go home, nikule na nirudi tena shule without actually straining too much. Now nikasoma from there mpaka time nilifikaga class 8, that was in the year 2013 when I did my KCPE, and by then nilipita with the flying colors, hivyo ndivyo wanasema, na I was called to a school called Kilgoris Boys, and I was given an option for Chebunyo Boys High School and ilikuwa Bomet. So I chose Chebunyo Boys High School, and I enrolled in the year 2014 mpaka 2017 where I did my KCSE, and still nilipita, and from there pia nika enroll sasa after ku stay home for like 7 months, na mwezi wa 5 nika enroll at a school called St. Paul's University. St. Paul's University kuna branches 4, but for me nilienda ile ya Nakuru. So that is where I studied for 4 years doing journalism and mass communication. Yes, mtu anaweza niuliza, so was journalism and mass communication your calling? Was it a passion ama ni kitu tu ulikuja kuangukia? Now let me say this. So back at primary, mimi nilianza kudiscover that I'm good in journalism. Time tulikuwa tunafanya presentations, especially wakati kulikuwa na gatherings za church kama seminar nini. So apparently there was this moment wakati kulikuwa na seminar fulani at a place ilikuwa inaitwa, okay, siwezi taja jina of that place, but kulikuwa na seminar nyingine kubwa sana yenye ilikuwa na kwa sponsored na group fulani inaitwa Maravision. So tukaenda pale, unfortunately ama luckily tukapewa opportunity. So mimi niliundaga gang ya ama group ya watu 4. So I could be the presenter, and the 3 walikuwa wakue reporters on the ground. So mimi naenda huko mbele na piga na mic yangu, nimeshawapatia wale wengine microphones, so naweza sema fulani wa fulani, our reporter so and so had more details on that, so they could do their things. Na that is when I realized that I had compassion and passion when it comes to journalism. So I got a friend who advised me na kaniambia, you know what, I think you are very very good when you do media as your profession. So nikamwambia ni sawa, but at the same time I'll have to wait kwa sababu tulipokuwa primary, unajua we could call for very very high professions kama vile piloting, lawyers, daktari, but for me I always chose law na journalism, but journalism was too much into me kuliko zile zingine. So that is how I discovered that I think I can do something better when it comes to media. Now it was a passion for me, it was a calling at the same time, kwa sababu every time mimi nilikuwa nasikia radio, nilikuwa nasikia singekuwa tu mimi huyo ndio naongea kwa radio hata kama sio mimi, but nikajiambia ni aje, ipo siku wakati wa Mungu unafanyikaga at the right time. Alafu mtu anaweza kuniambia pia what inspires me, what inspires me. So many things inspires me. Unajua every morning you wake up, you see yourself breathing, and then unafungua tu radio yako, you hear very supernatural voices on the radio, and then you like, hata mimi siku moja lazima nikuwe kama huyu mtu. So that thing pushes me. That is why mimi nakuja kila morning naingia kwa microphone, I try to do studies try to dig into so deeper stories of how they go to those places, and that is why I'm also doing the same thing, ili siku moja na mimi nihakikishe that I'm in the places where they are now, because ni wakati tu, we are giving it time. And by the way, I have the best voice when it comes to radio. Yes, so huyo ndio mimi. Alafu mtu akauliza, who are your role models? So everybody, in as much as mtu uko na vision and ideas, you must be having a role model. And I have so many role models, but I have two major role models. And let me start by this type of a guy. He's a culture ambassador. He's a tourism ambassador. He's a son from the soil. Now, I'm talking about a guy called Stephen Letoo. This is a guy who has proven beyond reasonable doubt that you can break the tribal lines and work in a place where not everybody could expect you to be working. Stephen Letoo has a very very unique and marvelous kind of a voice, and the design yeye na presenting reports zake mtu hata kama ulikuwa unaosha vyombo, hata kama ulikuwa unapiga deki, hata kama ulikuwa unafua huko nje, usikie tu our reporter Stephen Letoo has more detail. Lazima tu utaacha hiyo kazi na ukuje mpaka kwenye yako. Kwanza just stare at the television and get to hear the marvelous and supernatural kind of a voice he has. Now Stephen Letoo is a guy I've never met, but my prayer is that one day, one time we're gonna meet with him, because he's a friend, and minimum that is one of the persons. He's a celeb by nature, and therefore unajua kuna ile kiburi na kujaga na celebrities, mtu napata doa and then unasema mimi am done sasa. So but for Stephen Letoo, according to how nime study, he's a guy mwenye anajiletanga to the ground so that anaweza interact na kila mtu. So that is a guy who comes from a place that I come to. So one day we are gonna be two celebrities, especially in the journalism media in the journalism field, ambao tutakuja ku break the limits of tribal lines, kwa sababu kuna wase wanasemanga, unajua ni aje, Masai hafanyi kazi kwa radio stations za Kimasai ama television but for him, no, he does the best Kiswahili, he does the best in English. I just like the guy. And another person is this guy called Maina Kageni. Maina Kageni has a supernatural kind of a voice too. Na design analetaga hizo ni conversation zake, especially the morning hour conversation. Hata kama ulikuwa unafanya nini. And then there's this thing with the ladies and him. Maina Kageni, let me tell you, that thing sells him. That is what is selling him, by the way. And so that is another person that I look up to, kwa sababu I hope one day, one time tutapatana na wao. People praise their field of professionalism. I too praise my field of professionalism. I work for the KNA Media as a radio host, as an editor, news editor and program editor, and at the same time as a camera operator. So I do the things with wholeheartedly, kwa sababu those are the things that are paying me, and that's why I am here, because of such kind of things. What motivates me or what pushes me working every day is that I have a family to feed. not a group to not a community to impress. And that is why naweza taka siku moja familia yetu pia wasimame wakwe proud that our son is working this and that kwa sababu of this and that. That is what pushes me. That's why I wake up every morning na nikuja hapa hivi kwa Kunamu radio station na kufanya mambo yanakwenda sambamba kabisa. Now, mimi kuna quote napendaga kusema that you can never be someone else. You will always be you. And that is why it is very important that whenever it comes to being real, always being real. Do not fake. Kwa sababu hata ukifake kukua mtu mwingine hawezi kuwa, utabaki tu kwa, in as much as watu wanapenda kujibleach siku hizi, watu wanapenda kuchange their personalities nini hata physical appearance ya mtu, but you can never change from the original person you are. You'll always be the person God intended you to be. That's why nasemanga aje, cheza na line yako vizuri. Usiwahi potea kwa sababu ya peer pressure au sijui fanya hivi. Alafu sasa the final of it all ni kwamba mimi ni a born again Christian. I am a very, very consistent Christian, and I believe in God and I believe in the word. So mimi naomba kila siku Mungu atupeleka to the higher heights, kwa sababu we are not aiming the places we are aiming to the higher heights. Na Mungu yeye anasema ya kwamba pray or ask and it will be given to you. Knock the doors and those doors will be opened for you. So we are still knocking some more doors, tuone kama opportunities zitakam. So wewe mtazamaji na msikilizaji mwenye unanitazama, all that I can say is that can you go and knock at that door? Go to the end of the wall. Hata kama unaona maisha yamekukalia ngumu aje, usigive up. Wewe push to the end, kwa sababu the more you push, the more all doors are open. So thank you very much. Na kama unataka kunipata at our social handles, pale Facebook unanipata na The Kingpin Media, YouTube ni The Kingpin himself, and for more information I'll be sharing my contact on the portfolio ili uweze kufuatilia. And this is how I am beginning my story, so that the next time I'll bring another person, you will know and have the content and the clinch of what is supposed to be done and what I'm supposed to do for you. So request zenyu ndio sasa nangoja, who should be the next person aingie kwenye hot seat. Yes, my name is Joseph Oponi. I'm ukipenda The Kingpin himself. Goodbye for now.